T'Challa the Black Panther in Hiding True Power Chapter 1 Hati T'Challa turned off the tap water and stared out of the crack in the wall at the forest. The Grotslang Consortium had reforested the country over the last couple of years, so it was not by random choice that T'Challa wanted to hand over the Consortium's enemy to them on the island. T'Challa took the cup of water and he threw it in Mr. H's face to wake him up. "Where are we?" asked Mr. H. "Why am I cuffed to this chair? What day is it?" "You really expect me to answer?" asked T'Challa. Mr. H inhaled deeply and stared at the Black Panther. "The Russian president will not stand for you kidnapping me. I am his top financer, you know that, right?" said Mr. H. "The mutant nation, the United States and the machine world are all looking for you also," said T'Challa. Mr. H was surprised. "It was Biden who did the attack, not me," said Mr. H. "He was the trigger man for you," said T'Challa. "Correct, so that means my hands are legally clean," said Mr. H. "That's the reason this matter will not be settled legally," said T'Challa. "I am not afraid of death. You are from the Russian mafia, so I am not surprised by the sentiment. It was your mafia tendencies that got you in this position." Mr. H steps and T'Challa slapped him, the force of which toppled the man to the ground and some of his teeth fell out. Chapter 2 The time was 1 p.m. and at that hour T'Challa had a scheduled holographic video meeting with the leaders of the mutant nation Krakow. The leaders were Charles Xavier, Magneto, and Apocalypse. "Good day, gentlemen," said T'Challa. "No need for pleasantries, Wakandan," said Apocalypse. "Believe me, Apocalypse, you are still in Wakanda's crosshairs as it was 1,000 years ago," said T'Challa. "Ahem, T'Challa, you wanted to speak with us concerning our manhunt for the mutant who attacked the conference," said Charles Xavier. "I am asking you to call off the manhunt," said T'Challa. "Preposterous, that attack has caused unnecessary friction between the African diaspora and Krakow," said Magneto. "In return for calling off the manhunt, I will trade the machine world's source codes for the Nimrod project," said T'Challa. "I see," said Charles Xavier. "What is your interest in this mutant?" asked Apocalypse. "Strategic," replied T'Challa. "All mutants are protected by Krakow," said Charles Xavier. "That is why I am negotiating with you. I didn't have to tell you anything and just left you chasing a ghost for years," said T'Challa. "Were you behind the mutants' escape from custody in the Kremlin 30 minutes ago?" asked Magneto. "No, that was done by another player in this geopolitical conflict," replied T'Challa. "You want us to sacrifice one mutant to save the entire mutant population?" asked Apocalypse. "I am asking you to surrender political jurisprudence for one mutant who has caused you grief by breaking one of your laws. No mutant must kill a human," said T'Challa. "The mutant drained the melanin from the victims. There was no killing involved," said Magneto. "Permanent psychological trauma is the same as killing the body and spirit of a person," said T'Challa. "Krakow will be exiling the mutant to Wakanda." Chapter 3 While the Krakow Council deliberated, T'Challa presented Mr. H's body to Kevin Trench aka Nightwatch. "We have never met before, so I cannot take your accusations against this man at face value," said Nightwatch. Nightwatch raised the head of the unconscious Mr. H and noted the broken jaw. "This flash drive contains the names, dates, and monies that trace back to him for the attack on the conference," said T'Challa. "So he was the man in the shadows, but what about the actual trigger man? Where is that person? Still at large? I need info about this person, like a name for starters. Tell Grotslang that in order for you to get the conspirator, the trigger man had to dealt with by someone else who also rests in the shadows," said T'Challa. "That is unacceptable," said Nightwatch. "That is all you get," said T'Challa. Later Montenegro as T'Challa anticipated the machine world freed Bidden from Kremlin authorities and scrubbed his electronic records along with T'Challa's capture of Mr. H. What T'Challa had not expected was Bidden being in Russia in the first place. T'Challa hijacked the machine world's international surveillance network and found Bidden on the outskirts of the Montenegro capital city. Then the Black Panther wiped 5 minutes from the surveillance coverage. Bidden meditated on the stub of a fallen sycamore maple tree. "I can hear you despite your attempt at stealth," said Bidden. "What do you want from me?" He turned around and was genuinely shocked to see T'Challa. "Mr. H was handled along with the others who duped you into the attack," said T'Challa. "With that said, the nature of your mutancy is a problem. You are like a fabled monster who feeds on black people from the shadows." Bidden floated over T'Challa. "What grounds does Wakanda have? Your country allowed slavery of blacks to operate in Africa," said Bidden. "True, which the reason that I see it as a debt I feel obligated to pay." "With my blood?" asked Bidden. "No, with your silence," replied the hologram of T'Challa, which faded away. The real Black Panther descended from the sky and landed on Bidden's shoulders, then T'Challa placed his gloved hand over Bidden's face and a gas came out of the glove that made Bidden unconscious.